But up first, Elder Advisors here to talk about their services to help your family so you don't go broke in a nursing home. Joining me now is Lindsay Fleming from Elder Advisors, and
Hi.
Just Lindsay today.
No, is it quiet?
It's a little quieter without Larry Weiss in the building.
That's right.
Maybe
So
we'll
glad to be
actually
here.
get
Thank
some
you.
work done today.
That's right. That's right. I said in the green room, I'm like, see how much business we conducted when Larry wasn't showing off around here? Fine. We love Larry.
You can call 855-LARRY-55, even though Larry's not here. The other number, since Larry's not here, 800-763-7930, or visit elderadvisors.com.
Yeah, but let's talk about who should call. Let's talk about who should call.
That gets into my first question.
Yeah.
Tell me about who should call. What is pre-planning? Why is it important?
Yeah, so that's what we want to talk about today is pre-planning. So we're talking a lot about nursing home issues and folks that are in crisis and the house is on fire and I'm writing $10,000 checks. All of that's really important. But what I want to talk about today is what happens before you get to that point. So I want to talk about Ron today. So a client we have, his name is Ron, and Ron is just the perfect picture of pre-planning. So Ron is a hard worker, worked for his whole entire career in manufacturing, distribution, food distribution, until he was forced retired at about 60. So that's devastating, right? You've got 40 years somewhere. It's, we're shutting down. What do we do? So Ron came in with his wife and we sat down. We built a great plan. We'll talk about that in a second. We talked about finances, and that's just a perfect pre-plan. Hey, what's going on? And I'm sure Ron thought it was a crisis, right? Because we're forced retired. I was going to work for a few more years. But here's the thing, Ron's living his best life today. That's what Ron's doing today. Probably watching. Hi, Ron. And just, we're not concerned about finances. We're maintaining our quality of life. And I know if something happens to me, like I need a nursing home, I'm taken care of, my wife's taken care of, my kids are taken care of. That is what pre-planning is. So it's really important to call, for folks that are watching today, to call 855-LARRY-55 to get in for a free consultation to see how we can help you pre-plan. Nothing has to be wrong to sit down and pre-plan. So it's very, very important, and a step that I think a lot of young 60-somethings really miss. And that's unfortunate, because then when the crisis happens, it's that much more frustrating, it's that much more expensive, it's that much more stressful, as opposed to putting a pre-plan together.
And I'm sure there are a lot of young 60-something people who appreciate you saying young 60-something people.
I mean, these folks have a lot of life left to live, right? But it's also unpredictable, so be prepared.
Yeah, and that's right around the age that my parents are. My dad just retired. My mom's getting close to retirement as well. And sometimes there doesn't need to be a problem.
Right.
I guess to come to you. Once you start hitting just even a certain age,
sure,
when you don't really know what's going to happen next, or you just want to make sure that the future is bright, because like you mentioned, you've got a lot of time ahead of you.
And mom and dad need to call for mom and dad, but they need to call for you too. This is really a gift. The gift here that Ron gave was for his children. It was for his children so that their path was paved. He made his wishes known. It takes about 3 combined hours. That happens over about 2 months. There's usually always a legal component, so the attorneys are there supporting it. There's a financial component, which is, of course, what we take care of. But it's not scary. It's not overwhelming. It's just something that needs to be done. It's your responsibility to take care of it. So
when someone comes to you, what does that process look like? Obviously, you offer the free consultations, which is awesome and a big part of what you do. But what does that look like from start to finish? Okay,
well, let's talk about your mom and dad, because I know they're coming in now. So mom and dad will call and set up an appointment, 855-LARRY-55. So the first meeting is just kind of a get to know, half an hour, 45 minutes. And here's the other thing. I don't need to know a ton about you, right? I don't need to know. You don't need to bring the whole file cabinet. It's not that invasive, right? It's just, what are your goals? What scares you? What are you wanting to prepare for? And we share our expertise and knowledge and say, okay, Ron, here's what I think could possibly happen down this road. And so we talk about what that looks like. Usually there's a second appointment in 2 to 3 weeks after that. That's usually about an hour. And then 2 to 3 weeks after that, there's another appointment. On that third appointment, sometimes we're going different places with the client. We're holding their hand at a variety of different, whether it's the bank or we're having conversations with their insurance agent, just to make sure everything is neat and tidy as it should be. So that's all part of what we do. But over the course of 2 months, and 3 meetings, a total investment of 3.5 hours maybe, everything you've worked for your whole life is protected. Everything you work for is protected. So I think that's really important.
And we always hear where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes,
but that's not always all it takes.
It's not. It's not. And so again, there's a financial component, but there's a legal component. And I think some people think, I got a will. I did a will, so I'm good. I got a will. Well, a will is like a Christmas tree with no lights or decorations. Lame. You know what I mean? No, I mean, at least put the little popcorn around it or something. Nobody wants a naked Christmas tree. And that's what a will is. So I think there's a false sense of security for folks that have, a will in place, but they don't really understand what that means. And we work with phenomenal attorneys, which we're not, but we work with phenomenal attorneys that really just take that plan to the next level for the family. So it's really, really minimizes the stress and aggravation and time and money that the children have to spend later in life or when mom and dad pass away.
Last time you were on here, we celebrated your 40th birthday.
Oh, yes.
You're getting to a point in life, elder advisors, good thing you work in the building.
I do. And let me tell you this, we practice what we preach. So my husband and I have the exact same plans that we, talk about and that we think are important for our clients. So we all practice what we preach. Larry, with Larry and his wife, with their IRAs and things like that, they've moved those into products that are safe money. And, we are practicing what we're drinking the Kool-Aid, right? We're drinking the Kool-Aid. We don't do anything or ask our clients to do anything that we haven't done for ourselves or for our immediate family members if it's appropriate. So that's unusual, Sean. I think people don't always practice what they
preach. And it's never too early for you. We got about a minute left here. I just want to talk about one more thing. The work that you guys do doesn't get done efficiently, properly, or the right way unless you care about it. You guys all have your own unique stories, why you got into this. Excuse me. You've talked about yours before, but just talk about how much that care goes into what it is that you guys do.
And I think this is, we do it all the time, right? But it's sensitive stuff. It's sensitive. We're talking about sensitive what ifs and things like that. There's sensitive family dynamics sometimes between children. And it's just, you have to lead with your heart, right? It's numbers and it's a spreadsheet, and sometimes the attorneys are doing legal documents, and none of that is fun or flashy or rainbows and butterflies. But the care behind it, the support behind it is so important. And I'm so blessed at Elder Advisors that each one of our 12 team members leads with that every single day. So every single day, our folks are leading with heart.
ElderAdvisors.com. They'll help you to make sure that you don't go broke in a nursing home. Call 855-LARRY-55, or of course the other number on the screen there as well, 800-763-7930. Lindsay, appreciate you joining us as always on Listens Live, of course.